All right, here we go. Salute to Knicks Nation on this Monday grind time edition of KFTV Live, brought to you by KnicksFanTV.com. Go to KnicksFanTV.com today to get your merch and sign up for our daily newsletter, keeping you up to speed on Knicks news, Knicks updates from the number one show for the fans, by the fans, CP the franchise in the building. On today's show, the Knicks coaching staff under Mike Brown is taking shape and being finalized. We're going to talk about the new offensive assistant, offensive coordinator, if you will, that will be joining the staff after a long search. The Knicks have found their guy. Plus, more schedule leaks were revealed over the weekend, and we'll talk about it today. And were the Knicks disrespected in Bleacher Report's NBA Power Rankings? We're going to reveal their ranking, and we're going to talk about it on today's edition of Worst Take. Call me up on the KFTV Discord. You know what it is, man. 24/7 group chat. Plus, your way of calling into the show and weighing in on today's topics, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. Salute to all of our loyal franchise channel members. And remember to hit the like button, hit the share button, and subscribe to the channel. All right, let's get into it, man. Okay. Salute, man. Good to see everybody today on this Monday. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Salute to my franchise channel members in the chat joining us early. John Talento, always in here. My guy Gregory Weiner, always in here. See the Great 32. Salute. Omar G. 7259. Daniel Bosajor, he's a day one, man. William J. Bowman. Salute to you guys. Eric L. Beats, man. What's good, my guy? Stevie Nicks, I see you. Salute to everybody in the chat. All right, man. Let's get right into it, man. Let's take the bow off this thing and get down to business. The Knicks coaching staff looks to be near completion, as the Knicks announced over the weekend that they have hired Chris Jent to be their offensive assistant, offensive coordinator, but also their associate head coach. So he is going to be the top lieutenant on Mike Brown's staff. His signing was rumored. There was rumored interest there for a couple weeks now that the Knicks were closing in on him. And he has been touted, his resume, he's been touted as an NBA lifer. Actually played for the Knicks in the 96-97 season. So had a cup of coffee at the NBA level, played for the Knicks, and then made his way around the coaching circuit. But when we talk about the familiarity aspect with Mike Brown, Chris Jent is one of those guys. He actually worked with Mike Brown when Mike Brown was the head coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers. And so, Mike Brown brings a guy in who he is familiar with, and he will be taking over the offense. And no matter who you ask, a lot of people give him a lot of credit for his offensive philosophy. He fits within Mike Brown's concept of more pace and space, more ball movement. So again, more emphasis on really building up that offense again. And look, Knicks offense finished number 5th ranked in the NBA. So it wasn't to say that they were terrible by any stretch. They were a very good offense based on the talent that they had. But as you see here, in bringing in Mike Brown and bringing in this assistant at Chris Jent, they want more. They want to be better in their spacing. They want to build on the skill sets of Brunson, Towns, and Bridges, the law firm. So Chris Jent is one of those guys. I texted my guy David Zenon, friend of the program. David, when the rumor first came out that Chris Jent was a candidate, David responded on our social media that this is a great look for the team. And David knows a lot of coaches. He's around those coaching circles, and so we trust his judgment, especially when it comes to players and coaches. But he says, great player development mind, players coach, big on development and offensive schemes. And he says he will be a good balance of people skills and X's and O's. He says he and Brown together will make the offense pop. So that was the evaluation from our guy, David Zenon, friend of the program. He sent me that text this morning. So there it is. All right. So we have Chris Jent on the offensive side. You have Brendan O'Connor on the defensive side. And that seems to be Mike Brown's top lieutenants as it relates to this coaching staff. And this comment had been made a couple times where people is like, we're the only fan base now that is evaluating assistant coaches. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? And I hear that, and I understand it for sure. But I also think the reason is because, number one, this team has lofty expectations. And number two, as a team who finished in the Final Four, right now we're trying to see what are the tweaks to get this team over the hump. We know the talent is there. We know if they stay healthy that there's a high ceiling that they can meet. But what are the margins, the moves on the margins that can help this team turn a corner? So Mike Brown's addition, what difference will he be? Contra to Tom Thibodeau. Will these assistants make much of a difference? We talked about Chris Jent, a shooting coach, player development, offensive X's and O's. The other guy, Brendan O'Connor on the defensive side. The bench upgrades with Clarkson, Yabusele. Is a rookie going to step up? So those little tweaks to this already established core is what's also ultimately going to determine this team's fate for the 25-26 campaign. So that's why I'm also intrigued by who they hire on the bench. And also it's clear that these guys now have established roles. You have guys that are coming in. One guy's in charge of the offense. One guy's in charge of the defense. So it's a little bit of a departure there from Tibbs. So that's why I'm pretty interested in these moves to see is it really going to pay dividends? All right. Now, shout out to our guy, Tommy Beer. Does good research there on Twitter X. This was a 2008 soundbite from now Knicks coach Mike Brown, who was then the coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers, talking up Chris Jent. So let's hear what Mike Brown had to say here. This is just a little soundbite here on Chris Jent. Here we go.
The players.
The Cavaliers had.
Hang on. Let me make sure some of these things, the volume isn't quite up to our speed, so we got to turn it up a little bit. Let's turn it up and hear what Mike Brown had to say about Chris Jent. Here we go.
The players.
The Cavaliers head coach makes it very clear how he feels about Jent.
Chris Jent.
Yeah.
Thumbs up. Matter of fact, 2 thumbs up. All right. First of all, he's a terrific guy, terrific family guy. He's, when you look at our team, obviously our team is led by LeBron James. He's a huge part of what we do, and LeBron every year has worked to better his game. People don't understand how hard this guy works. Having said that, a lot of times you need some sort of direction as a young guy as to how you're going to better your game, and Chris Jent's been the guy. Chris Jent has spent countless days on the road with LeBron in the summertime, away from his family, even to the tune of us bringing his family out to wherever he is at times, helping LeBron hone his skill, especially in the art of shooting. And the guy, the stuff that he knows about, not only about the game but about shooting, is just off the charts. He's one of the best in the business, and we feel fortunate to have him.
All right, so that was Knicks coach Mike Brown. This was during the 2008 season, and talking up Chris Jent, the now associate head coach of the staff. Well, you don't want to take too much of what happened 17 years ago, but you have a guy that's a lifer. He's going to put the work in. He's invested in the success of the team, so those are all good traits to have. Most recently, he actually won the Summer League championship with the Charlotte Hornets. He was coaching that team, and they did win the championship there. Okay, so that's what we know on Chris Jent, the now new associate head coach of the New York Knicks. Now, this also came across the newswire literally just almost an hour ago. Shout out to our guy Ian Begley, friend of the program. Knicks also hiring TJ Saint as an assistant coach to Mike Brown's staff. Saint, the head coach of the Pelicans G League team, will aid the Knicks on the offensive end. He's viewed in NBA circles as a bright offensive mind. The Pelicans G League had the G League's top offense in 23-24 regular season. TJ Saint also coached at the University of Georgia with the Pistons at Butler and Belmont. So another offensive assistant being added to the squad. So there we go. TJ Saint being added here. Okay, we'll see what impact he has there. But according to Ian Begley, known around NBA circles as a bright offensive mind. So more investment into the offense. And look, there's a number of players or intriguing aspects to this new system that Mike Brown and his staff are going to be looking to deploy with the Knicks. But one player in particular, as it relates to better pace and space concepts, one player in particular that I'm very interested to see, how this impacts him is Mikal Bridges. It is without question Mikal Bridges, because he's a player that I believe will play better with the Knicks playing with more pace, especially getting out in transition. If you look at some of his earlier numbers with the Phoenix Suns, Mikal Bridges, his transition numbers were excellent. When it got to the Nets, it trickled off a little bit. And then when he got to the Knicks last year, he was also good. He was, I believe, 64th percentile in points per possession in transition. So I believe if they improve on their pace and space dynamics, Mikal Bridges could benefit. More spacing is going to allow him to get more high efficiency looks, wide open looks. He was very good with the Knicks from the corner three last season. I think he can be even better in that regard. And who knows? Hey, maybe Chris Jent as a shooting coach, maybe he works on with Mikal Bridges to refine his shot a little bit more. Some of you guys might be scared of that, but hey, you never know. You just never know. So Mikal Bridges is really the guy for me who I want to see what this new offense, how that impacts him. Cap is going to be Cap, and I believe Towns is going to be Towns as well. But Mikal, for me, that's who I want to see, what they're going to do with him, especially on the offensive end. And we heard from other guests on the show how much Mike Brown values his wings. There we go. Mikal Bridges. That's who I want to see, how this offense impacts him. Okay, hit me up on the KFTV Discord. Let me know what you guys think about the coaching search, the coaching additions. We got some more franchise channel members in the building. Do things what's good. JJ from Brooklyn has joined us. Okay, George Gonzalez says Giannis to New York. Okay, all right. And shout out to George. Not sure, what he's referring to there, but hey, maybe he's just dreaming, wish upon a star. Okay, Jersey CP salutes you. Got you open gaming. Okay, let's see. Did Gotcha open? Did he just gift some franchise channel memberships? Yes, he did. He sent one franchise channel membership, and I believe Jersey CP got it. So welcome, Jersey CP, to the franchise channel members. And salute to everybody in the chat. All right, so that was that with Chris Jent and the coaching staff. Now, the NBA schedule, as we talked about last week, we talked about the coaching leaks. The NBA schedule is set to be released some tomorrow, as you have a collaboration here between Good Morning America, and the Today Show. They're going to be releasing some of the NBC games and the ABC games, respectively, or ABC and NBC, respectively. Remember, NBC Peacock is jumping into the mix now, so they're going to be announcing that. I have to imagine, because remember, the TNT games have already been announced. It's Thunder, Rockets, Banner Night, and then you have Golden State and the Lakers for the nightcap. So they're going straight West Coast, which you would expect. So I got to expect the next night of primetime games, national TV games, the New York Knicks are going to be a part of it. So we'll see. Let's see. What network? Probably ABC, and we'll see who they play for the season opener. So some of those dates are going to be announced tomorrow, and then the full schedule is expected to be released on Thursday. So Thursday night, we will be live for our schedule release show, breaking it all down, the key West Coast trips. You know how we do. We are ramping up for the start of the NBA regular season, which is, 2.5 months away. We are right there. We barely just got out of last season, and we into it. Okay. Jersey says, I don't like the way they're doing these rollouts. Why not? What's the big deal? What's wrong with the rollout? So, anyway, that will be released tomorrow. But what we do know is that Christmas Day, the stage is set. Madison Square Garden. That's where you want to start off your Christmas NBA games. You unwrap the gifts. You give the kids their gifts. Make sure they go play with that in the corner. Then we go watch the Knicks hosting the Cleveland Cavaliers from Madison Square Garden. Star power galore. Brunson versus Spider. Towns versus Mobley and Allen, whatever. This is going to be a good matchup, man. What do you guys think about the matchup? Some people say, I saw like Stephen Bondi was saying it should have been Knicks versus Pistons, or I forgot the other matchup he was talking about. I like this one. I think you got two of the best teams slated to be at the top of the East. Brunson, Spider, you got Garland in the mix. You have Mobley, you have Allen, you got Towns, Mikal, OG. I like this matchup. And we're at home. How can you not like it? Pistons, do they really deserve Christmas Day billing? They gotta earn that. Hawks, Steve Pizza. Okay, I'll give you that. Hawks would have been a good one. I would have went with Hawks as well. I like that. Okay, I do like the Hawks one. Yeah, they said Evan Mobley's on that juice. Hey, that could be a little scary. Allegedly. All right? We don't need these sound bites getting out there with these false accusations. But the rest of the Christmas Day schedule, if you take a look at it, Cavs, Knicks, I like it. Spurs, Thunder. What do we think about that? A little Wemby against the champs. That's decent. Thought they could have gotten a little bit better there. Rockets, Lakers, LeBron, KD, for what could be one of the last times. Okay, I like that. I do like that. Add Luka factor in there and improve Rockets team. Mavs, Warriors, you get Cooper Flag, you get the number one pick on the top stage. You kind of understand that. AD as well, and then you get the chef, you get Jimmy Butler, all those guys. No Kyrie kind of takes the sizzle out of it for me, but this is kind of like the post dinner time game where I'm like, whatever. At that time, you turn away from the TV and you pay attention to your family. You start talking. You know what I mean? You have your extended family over. That's when you start talking and you eat dessert and whatnot. Wolves Nuggets. I do like that. I like that matchup. I've always liked that matchup between the two teams. They always play each other well. You get Ant-Man. You get Jokic. Julius closing it out. I like that matchup. So what do we think about the Christmas Day lineup overall? I think it's, 1 being trash, 5 being facts. I'll give it a 4. We'll see what happens, how they play out, but I'll give it a 4. Oh, yeah, Clay versus Steph. Okay, Sukano Benny. You got it. Clay versus Steph, Mavs versus Warriors. Didn't think about that. Clay's been making his rounds with the Stallion. He's rejuvenated. He's born again. I see the great Clay in love non-factor. Whatever, man. He's a name. He's still a name. We respect Clay. You know what I mean? Stevie Nicks, Clippers versus Sixers, the walking injuries, the injury game. That's funny. So to everybody in the chat once again, happy Monday, man. If you guys are on the grind, man, throw me a hashtag grind, and I will shout you guys out. Will we have time for a giveaway today? We got 500 people in the chat. Should we do a giveaway today? Last week we did a snapback giveaway. Maybe we'll do a once a Nick, always a Nick giveaway. We got these nice 18 by 24 posters here. Once a Nick, always a Nick. The barbecue poster. We also have these available in 8 by 10s, in an 8 by 10 frame. This doesn't come with a frame. This one is too big for a frame. Pause. But we do have these in an 8 by 10 frame. And we also have the t-shirts available in blue and black on KnicksFanTV.com. So if you guys are interested, maybe we'll do a giveaway before we wrap up the show. Only for franchise channel members, of course. And then if not, hey, you can always get yours at KnicksFanTV.com. Fast shipping and quality products. And as I mentioned, man, also when you guys are on KnicksFanTV.com, make sure you guys sign up for our newsletter, man. We have a bunch of talented writers this year, from Omar to Remy's recaps. We have Knicks Fan TV Jalen, we have KFTV Jeff, and this comes right to your email box. Good articles. We keep you updated on KFTV events, merch drops, and much, much more. Never any spam, only getting you the KFTV quality content that you need. So if you go to KnicksFanTV.com and just click on newsletter, drop your email right here, and you'll be good to go. And the good thing about the newsletter is, listen, man, Social media is changing rapidly. We have no idea what tomorrow is going to bring in terms of what the latest platform is or what decisions they make. At least, our goal for the newsletter is to make sure that we keep in contact with you guys at all times. We want to build that community out. And like I said, we'll never waste your time, man. So do me a favor, sign up for the newsletter today, and it'll be well worth your time. We definitely appreciate it. Okay, moving on to the next segment of the day. Did the New York Knicks get disrespected by Bleacher Report? Did they get disrespected by Bleacher Report? We're going to talk about it today, man. The power ranking every team if the 2025-26 NBA season started today. So first, before I reveal what number they put the Knicks at, what do you think? Where would you put the Knicks in the NBA power rankings if the season started today based on the moves that they made in this past offseason? Throw your numbers in the chat and let me know what you think. Where would you put the Knicks in terms of your power ranking if the season started today? Okay. Now, shout out to this guy. His name is Andy Bailey. Nice guy, I'm sure. I've never worked with him at Bleacher Report, but he put this article together. So we'll give him some credit for the effort. However, Andy Bailey dropped the Knicks to number 7. Drops the Knicks to number 7 in his power rankings. I mean, to me, that is disrespect. To me, that is lacking thought. Because at the end of the day, if you finish in the Final Four and you go into this season understanding the climate of the East, that this team is expected to once again finish in the Final Four, how do you drop to 7? Like, just off of that alone, okay? You have a new coach under Mike Brown. We'll see what happens there. You have a new coach under Mike Brown. You have another year of chemistry with this core, with Brunson, Towns, Mikal, OG, Hart, Deuce, Mitch. You got healthy Mitch starting the season. Different, okay? And then you got a bench upgrade with Clarkson and Yabusele. So how does this team drop from the Final Four to being 7th ranked in the NBA? Makes no sense. That just does not make any sense. So anyway, let's go to his reasoning here as to why. He says, let me get this a little bit. See if I can make this a little bit bigger. Okay. See if we can read this together as a family. So he says, New York Knicks were a solid, though unspectacular, plus minus 4.1 points per 100 possessions when their top 5 of Brunson, Hart, Mikal, OG, and Towns were all on the floor. But former coach Tom Thibodeau almost ran that group into the ground. The 940 minutes they played as a unit in 2004-25 was more than 200 clear of the second place and 400 clear of third. This offseason, they hired a coach who will presumably spare their legs a bit more on Mike Brown while picking up a pair of solid veterans in Jordan Clarkson and Gershon Yabusele. With the injuries taking the Celtics Pacers out of the picture, the Knicks have a very, very real opportunity to potentially represent the East in the 2026 finals. This is why his ranking makes no sense. In the first half of his breakdown, he is indicting the previous coach for wearing out his players. But now you have a new coach. At the same time, he's saying that they made solid veteran pickups in Clarkson and Yabusele, a team that made the Final Four last year. New coach, better bench. And then he says they have a clear shot, a good shot to represent the East in the finals. So how the hell are they 7th? Contradiction. Come on, Andy Bailey, man. What are we doing? Steve Pizza said, my guy writing Centel articles. Yeah. So, And by the way, I forgot to preface this by saying this is a segment of Worst Take, where we go around the NBA landscape, whether it's podcast or written articles such as this, and react to takes as it relates to the New York Knicks. We go through the take and you react to it with a rating of 1 being trash all the way up to 5 being facts. So he's got him at number 7, but his logic is illogical. Okay? Now, let's take a look at the teams that he has ahead of the Knicks. At number 6, he's got the Los Angeles Lakers. Okay? Now, his logic, okay, they brought back Luka Doncic. And it puts LeBron in an unusual position, yada, yada, yada. This guy's talking about they have more scoring and playmaking with Austin Reeves. Marcus Smart should be able to provide a defensive spark in the backcourt. Rui Hachimura, shooting ability, and guard multiple positions to help. And the biggest change is a replacement of Jackson Hayes with the DeAndre Ayton. And that is the latest soup du jour now, if you haven't been paying attention. Look, certainly possible. Nothing is impossible in this league. Could certainly be a reclamation project. But you're telling me that because they picked up DeAndre Ayton, a known quitter, with no motor, no heart, off of the scrap heap, they're automatically shot up to the 6th-ranked team in the NBA, or even better, as a title contender? Give me a break. Give me a break. On no planet is that Laker team better than the Knicks. Give me a break. The 1st and 3rd picks of the 2018 draft, Ayton and Doncic, have a chance to form one of the more dynamic guard big punches in the league. DeAndre Ayton. He didn't even know he was in the league last year. Lord, better than the Knicks. Andy Bailey. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Okay, at number 5, he's got the Cleveland Cavaliers. Okay? Hey, talks about the Cavaliers. They were bridesmaid last year, lost to the Pacers, got injured. Their lone addition this year. Remember, the Cavs are a second apron team. They lose Ty Jerome. They pick up Lonzo Ball in the Okoro trade. They still have their core. And Cleveland itself is a prove it to me in the playoffs team. And they are a prove it to me in the playoffs type of team. Are they really better than the Knicks? JJ said Cleveland are frauds as always. I'm going with JJ. I gave that team a little bit too much respect last year. And I apologize for that to Knicks Nation. I gave that team way too much respect last year. So I'm going back on my previous thoughts on Cleveland. They're frauds. And I do think, look, they're a top-heavy team. Spider, I love Spider. That's one of my favorite players. He's a great player. Mobley, as always, is the key to taking them over the top. As they showed him out there on the beach. He looks like LeBron. He's built like LeBron right now. Hey, does that help him? Does that hurt him? I think he could use some more offense to his game to take him over the top. You still have to respect. So I like DeAndre Hunter always off the bench, always have. So, look, they're going to be there in the regular season. Are they built to be a postseason team? No. And they've got to earn that. I do not believe they have the toughness, the killer instinct to get the job done in the playoffs. And Lonzo's not moving the needle for me. Please. You could even make a case that with the departure of an Okoro, they got a little bit worse defensively. And I think we could be looking at the final year of the Garland-Mitchell pairing before they try to make a desperate move to save that team. So he's got Cleveland ahead of the Knicks at number 5. Okay, coming in at number 4, the Los Angeles Clippers. The Clippers' offseason splash was signing Brook Lopez to back up Zubac. They get Bradley Beal on the buyout from the Suns, and they get CP3. And along the way, they get John Collins to join the front court as part of the deal that sent Powell to the Heat. Adding those four to Harden, Leonard, Zubac, Chris Dunn, Derrick Jones Jr., Nicholas Batum gives the Clippers a versatile, low-mistake 10-man rotation that can conceivably challenge any opponent in a playoff series. Of course, he says the rotation means LA is on track to be the oldest team in the NBA. Hey, you be the judge at home. The Clippers. No. Sorry. No. They're not beating us in a 7-game series. They might not even be healthy to beat us in a 7-game series. They're the oldest team in the league. And look, I do like that Clipper team. I always feel like they can challenge in the West. I always give them a little bit more respect. I like their style of play, and I like a lot of players on that team. The Beal and CP3 moves are not moving me. John Collins has never moved me on any team. One of the most overrated players in the league. And they're old. Brook Lopez, washed. So I don't see it. You know, Batum, hey, he can always help here and there. He's versatile. Derrick Jones, he's a scrapper. Dunn, blah, blah, blah. Zubac, very tough. I like his game. I respect him a lot. Is Kawhi going to be there for them in money time? So, I mean, the Clippers ranked 4th. I don't even think they're the 4th best team in the West. Let's keep it a beam. They're not even the 4th best team in the West. Alone. NYC B-Ball, don't tell me they got Wolves ahead of us. Well, let's see. So they have the Clippers at number 4. No. No, sir. Number 3. H-Town. Stand up. The Houston Rockets. Now, when they traded for KD, I thought that was a no-brainer move. I love the move. I'm not a believer of Jalen Green yet. And I say yet because he's a very young player, and I would hate to write off a young athletic talent like that. But it just doesn't seem at this point that he has the consistency, the efficiency, and the mental makeup to really change their fortunes. So they needed to make a move. They needed more star power, and they needed to improve their offense, and they did both. Checked both boxes in taking a strike on KD. Who are you taking in a 7-game series, the Rockets or the Knicks? Now, if the Amen Thompson experience continues to take another level up, he was very good last year, man. He's vastly becoming one of my favorite players in the league. You got Jabari Smith, right? Van Fleet, like he's going to be him. Sengun, very good player. Very good player. Do they have enough? They have the wing versatility, no question. I think the guard spot is a little bit dicey for them. And is KD enough to improve their shooting as a collective? I'm not so sure. I mean, they get rid of Dylan Brooks, who was their best three-point shooter. You add in KD, and then your bench is, I'll just put it over here so everybody can see. I mean, your bench is Shepherd, who I like, had a very good summer league again. Hopefully he gets another role. Okogie, Tari, Dorian Finney-Smith, Steven Adams. I don't see it. I think they need more guard. I think they need better guard play. And JJ says they need another go-to guy. Well, that's why I'm wondering, is Sengun take another step up? Remember, Sengun was all-star this year. So does he take another step up? Jabari Smith could be a guy that swings things for them. Pause. Again, Thompson. They're interesting. But I'm still taking the Knicks over them. All right, so Andy Bailey, I mean, you're like 0 for, 5 right now. I'm going down the list. You're just not hitting. Rockets at number 3. At number 2, now this I'm not going to hate. I don't hate on this. I don't hate this. The Denver Nuggets at number 2. They finished the season very well last year. Hey, they had the champs on the ropes. And with a banged-up Nuggets team, they took the champs all the way to the distance. You can make the argument, hey, Aaron Gordon in there a little bit healthier. You never know what could have happened. But they made the moves in the offseason that they needed to make. They brought back a guy who they unfortunately lost as a salary cap casualty in Bruce Brown. But the big trade that they made was trading Michael Porter Jr. for Cam Johnson. I like that trade a lot for them. And with Brown and Johnson, they pick up the wing defense that they needed. They didn't have much versatility on the wing last year, and I thought that was a big weakness for them. So I like the pickup. Johnson's three-point efficiency and consistency, to me, is an upgrade over Porter. So they got stronger defensively. They got more consistent offensively. You bring back a Brown that, we'll see what he makes of. First off, ditch the cowboy hat and the mustache. Get back to playing ball. Is he going to be that glue guy, facilitator that he was when they won the championship? We'll see. If he is, I think they have improved. They added Timmy off the bench. Hey, you never know what time of day it is with him, but he'll add some firepower on some nights. You get Valanciunas off the bench, he'll fill in for DeAndre Jordan and be that backup 5. And then you got your mainstays in Jokic and Murray, who during the regular season can look like a dud, and during the playoffs can look like a superstar. But if they get that version of him, I can make the case for Denver at number 2. I can make that case for Denver at number 2. And you still got Gordon as well, and Christian Brown. So I can, Straw there and all those guys. Like, I can make that case for Denver at number 2. What do you guys think in the chat? And then obviously number 1, he's got the champs. I mean, pretty self-explanatory. We don't really have to go into that. So where would you put the Knicks in this list? Where's my pen? We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this live. I had a pen here. Show to everybody in the chat. Let me put the Knicks. 7 is ridiculous. 7 is ridiculous. All right, Andy Bailey. If Andy's watching, come on, man. And like I said, I haven't worked with him, but if I did, I'd let him know to his face. Andy, this is not it. Okay, let me see what you guys think. Birdie Bug in 3rd. Jay from Florida says that new GM for Denver is fire. Second, 3rd. All right, if you're putting him 3rd, who's number 2? For a lot of you guys say 3rd. Let me see. How do I put a poll in here? The TM is probably at work or something in here, so I got to do double duty. Where do the Knicks rank in the preseason power rankings? Okay. Is it 4? Is it 3? 2? 1. There we go. All right, I'm putting the poll up there right now. You guys let me know. 5. Okay. Ooh, Gregory Weiner says 5. Okay, you guys are saying 4. So for you guys that are like 3 and 4, give me your list. Here's where I'm going. I'm going OKC. I'm going with the Knicks, man. I'm going with the Knicks at 2. Man. We earned it. Battle tested. Playoff built. We got Captain Clutch. I'm going with 2. Number 3, I'm going with the Nuggets. At 4, I'll go with the Cavs at 4. And 5, I'll go with the Rockets. That's it. OKC, Knicks, Nuggets, Cavs, Rockets. That's where I'm going top 5. Oh, Jay from Florida got us 4th. He got the Rockets ahead of us. Okay. I'm going 2, man. That's where I'm going. I'm going 2. Now, if we look also, I thought they had Minnesota way too low in this. You know, maybe I'm wrong, but I like Minnesota way better than this. You get Ant-Man. Julius finished the year well with them. I like, the Nickeil Alexander-Walker loss to me is going to be a big loss for them. But I like Dillingham, and I like, what's the other kid's name? Those two, they played in Summer League, man. I like them, man. Dillingham and the other guy's a firecracker. Terrence Shannon Jr. I like them for that offense. Plus, you still got Naz Reid. Dante. I think they got Minnesota a little bit too low. Get the Clippers out of there. Clippers should be 8. Yeah, at DL, the LA teams are way too high. I'm with you. Now, as it relates to like competition in the East for the Knicks, a lot of people like the moves that the Magic made. He's got the Magic at number 9. I think they could be a strong regular season team just based on the way that they compete and play defense. Jamal Mosley expects nothing less. Injuries are going to be, key factor for them. I still don't think their bench is all that good offensively, but again, defensively and their compete level is right up there. We'll see what the Bane impact has on their offense. It should certainly help. And then Paolo and Franz can take another level up. Obviously, Orlando, if the Knicks get caught lacking, Orlando could be a team that could capitalize seeding-wise. But I'm not going to sleep on those Hawks, man. And he's got Orlando ahead of the Hawks. He's got the Spurs at 11. I think that's ridiculous. Let's pump the brakes on that. They ain't there yet. He's got the Pistons at 12, and he's got the Hawks at 13. I'm taking the Hawks over the Magic. If Kristaps, well, if he stays healthy, he's not going to stay healthy. I'm taking the Hawks over the Magic. I like the Alexander Walker pickup. I think Jalen Johnson is a stud in the making. We saw him kill the Knicks for several games until he got hurt. I like the Hawks, man. And if Risa Shea takes another level up, because to me that's what's going to swing things for them. Like Jalen Johnson has already established himself as a double machine. His athleticism is crazy. So that you can expect as his floor. But if Risa Shea goes another level up for them, that could be a problem. Then they got Kennard with the firepower off the bench. I like the Hawks, man. I like them better than the Magic. What do you guys think? Am I bugging or not? I like the Hawks better than the Magic. Bench looks a little iffy. Kristaps is a question mark. Not perfect. Yeah, Daniel posts up. Risa says looking pretty good in the EuroLeague, in the Eurobasket. So that's where I'm looking right now. What do you guys think? So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for your boys. OKC, Knicks, Nuggets, Cavs, Rockets. It's my top 5. Let me see what you guys said in the chat. What did you guys say in the poll? 41% say number 3. 22% say number 2. 24% say number 4. All right, so you guys are trending towards 3-4 for the Knicks right now. The Glocks there, Cody Glock, salute my guy, says, I don't like the Hawks at all. Okay. Mr. Knicks 101, $5 super chat, salute to you, says, I feel like the Knicks need another guy who can dribble. Well, let's see. That final roster spot has not been claimed yet. Is it going to be Ben Simmons? I certainly hope not. I hope for a guy like a Brogdon. But I do agree with you that they need one more ball handler. Shout out to King Matthews, 2K. Says, salute Knicks Nation. Hopefully we play the 76ers or Pistons for our first game. Any new Nick drip? Bob Cousy can't even dribble with his left hand. Salute. And once again, salute to Gotcha Open. All right. My guy David Zenon just texted me again. Remember, we opened the show with the coaching update on Chris Jent and TJ Saint. He says TJ Saint is a good look too. He says this staff is legit. All right, so that's the intel from our guy David Zenon. Says this staff is legit. He likes to pick up. Okay. Shout out to Dave. Shout out to Dave, man. All right. Let me get this trivia up and running. Let's see what we're gonna do here. Let's see what we're gonna do here for today's trivia. Great show though, man. Great to be on with you guys. Salute to everybody in the chat. If you guys are on the grind, throw a hashtag grind in the chat. I'll shout you guys out. And salute, man. Hope you guys had a good weekend. I had a pretty good weekend too. Went to go see Fantastic Four. Thought it was pretty good. It's pretty decent. You know, thought it was pretty good. Okay. All right. I got my trivia question ready. Let's get the music ready. I got to filter the chat. Samir Soriano, I see you. JJ from Brooklyn. Nell, 7182, salute to you. Will Latimer, my guy Will, in the building. Never misses a show. Diaz Omar, salute. Did y'all see Old Timers Day with the Yankees? Mariano tore his Achilles. Let's say, yo, nothing can go right with the Yankees, man. Mariano, remember when he tore his ACL? Now he tore his Achilles. For Old Timers Day, Jeter didn't show up. Yankees are in a spiral. This is going to be today's prize. The once a Knick, always a Knick print. Or you can get the t-shirt, whatever you want. But we have the prints available, 18 by 24. We also have him in a framed 8x10. Nice frame. Gregory Weiner has the frame. Yeah, torn Achilles for Mariano, man. Crazy. Flizzy Flex, $5 Super Chat says, I'm high on the Magic. I think they will be the number 1 seed in the East. Wow. Okay. All right. Hey, fair. That's a fair take there. Let's see what happens. Okay. Now, here is today's trivia question. Oh, let me filter the chat first. Let me filter the chat. Hang tight. Let me filter the chat. Above the rim, I see you. Yeah, Yankees and Mets are cooked. Okay, members. Okay, we filter the chat to the members only. My members, get ready, because here is the question. We just mentioned Chris Jent as the associate head coach pickup for the New York Knicks. And he played on the New York Knicks in the 96-97 season. What was the ultimate result of that 96-97 season? Where did the Knicks finish that season? Give me the round and the team that they lost to. We know they didn't win the championship, so I'm not really giving away any secrets. Give me the round and the team. Okay. All right. The answer is in. And the answer is they lost in the second round to the Miami Heat in the 96-97 season. They lost in the second round, man. And this was the infamous Ward versus Brown fight. that cost the Knicks their season. There we go. Congratulations to... Let me just make sure. I don't want to say it just yet. Hang on. I don't want to pull a Steve Harvey. I don't want to pull a foot trick. So let me just make sure I got it right. I think I know who it is, but let me just go into our system here and make sure I see it. The winner is... I know that the suspense is killing you. Daniel Beausejour. Congratulations to Daniel Beausejour. Daniel, I think this is your first win. Man. Congratulations to Daniel Beausejour, man. You just won. Let me know which version of the prize that you want, and we'll get it done for you, man. Shout out to Daniel Beausejour for winning. And great show, man. Great show, everybody. Great show, everybody in the chat. As I said, tomorrow, some of the schedule will release, so we'll talk about that. We'll get that done. And remember that the full schedule release show will be on Thursday. Okay? And so, yeah, there it is, man. The Ward Brown scrap. Congratulations to Daniel Beausejour.
Charlie Ward is just boxing out, basically. Oh, wow. That's what started it. Charlie Ward getting thrown by P.J. Brown is what started it all. That's ugly.
John Wallace was there. Here's the aftermath of it all. Technical fouls called on Brown and Ward and John Starks, and all three ejected from the game.
And I think that...
And that was my guy, John Starks. Shout out to Starks, man, because, hey, we missed John Starks. Just yesterday, he turned 60. I mean, when I heard that, I said, bro, how old are we that John Starks is 60, man? But shout out to our guy, the legend, John Starks, man. One of my favorite players. As you guys see right behind me, right there. That was it. The moment that started my Knicks fandom. This is the original poster. The original dunk poster. This is our guy, John Starks. 60 years young. I couldn't believe it when I saw that yesterday. So we had to post it. And we had to big up our guy. We had to big up our legend, John Starks, man. Wow. 60 years old. Can you believe it? But for us, for our generation, this was our guy, man. This was the heart and soul of this team. And hey, Game 7 be damned. I will forever be a John Starks fan. And we had the pleasure of having Starks. We've interviewed him a number of times in the channel, on the platform. And most recently, you guys came to the watch party where we had the Starks meet and greet. I mean, that's my guy, man. That's one of my heroes, man. So happy birthday, 60th birthday, once again, to the legend that is John Starks, man. Happy to have him part of the organization for all these years. Never forgive action. How did you feel doing the first Starks interview? Dream come true. Absolute dream come true, man. That was just one of those, every once in a while we have those milestone situations where you gotta just pinch yourself and be thankful and humble about what you're doing. And it just this was at the Barnett Foundation golf outing, and we had the opportunity to interview John Starks. And like I said, it was just a bucket list moment for me to do it, and then again to have him, over the years after that, just to be able to see him at the Garden and him knowing who I am, like, this is my idol, this is John Starks, and him being able to know who I am, and we able to have the meet and greet and things of that nature. It was amazing. It's absolutely amazing, man. So again, it's just one of those things that it's just a dream come true to have him be part of this show. So shout out to John Starks, man. So yeah, that was one of the moments. I gave you guys a funny story when I met Ewing. At Summer League, that was a moment. That was a moment to meet those two guys. Ewing for sure. That was a moment, man. I don't usually, like somebody said, starstruck. I don't usually get starstruck, crash out with celebrities and athletes and stuff like that. Over the years, like you come up around those kind of circles when you're coming out and you're young, you're out on the scene. You see a lot of people, so very rarely do I get that way. But with Starks for sure, with Ewing for sure, and with Penny Hardaway. Penny Hardaway, man. Those are my guys. So yeah. That's it, man. But anyway, great show, everybody. Once again, BLW, appreciate it. $10 super chat says, great show. BLW, definitely appreciate it. And Flizzy Flex says, CP, I'm high in the Magic. I think they will be the number 1 seed in the East. Whoa, Flizzy. Wait. You know what? I can't say that's a wrong prediction. And let me close out some screen. My screen is freezing up a little bit. I can't say that's a bad prediction. Number 1 in the East. Wow. Flizzy Flex really going out there with the prediction. Well, let's see if he's right. What do you guys think in the chat? Rate that take in the chat. 1 being trash, 5 being facts. All right, so like I said, man, be on the lookout for the schedule release. We'll talk about it, and we'll have some more programming for you guys slated for this week, man. So make sure you guys tap in, like, share, and subscribe. And we're on the climb to 100,000 subscribers, man. So make sure you guys are just helping us, man. Help support us. Make sure you guys are signing up for the newsletter. And remember that this show's available in audio podcast format, so no reason to miss it. We are available everywhere. Have a great day, everybody. CP the Franchise. I'm out of here. Peace.